Moo, moo, moo. We got a nice solid moo. Maybe the best moo so far during the pause and cavern here tonight. One night at Blossom, they get it in and out, and you would assume they're going to get down to business. And look at this, Esther showing up again. And Strawberry Fields, the acapella opener, hasn't been played since the Baker's Dozen. Had its place there at the Baker's Dozen, you know. Perhaps they should have just left it on the shelf there. Followed that with crowd control, but for me, really, we got things going here with Punch You in the Eye. You know, I know they like the mix-in crowd control. It's better. We get that about once a year, maybe the best thing about it. So then the show kicks off here with the official opener, it feels like to me, with Punch You in the Eye. Go on from that into 46 Days, and the Punch You in the Eye felt like it got a little extra attention tonight. The 46 Days really was just kind of going along. It's like, all right, maybe 46 Days is starting to wear on me. The ending was very cool, and then we get a nice little surprise here. Look at that. A YEM right in the middle of the first set. We'll take that pretty much anytime. You know, they had its sloppy moments for sure. We got some solid trampoline action, and once I got to Trey's solo, he was ripping, of course. And then Mike's solo, you know, had an interesting sound on the Mike bass solo there to end out YEM. Do the vocal jam, and then boom, I guess it's a thing now where after the vocal jam, they continue with a little bit more of a jam, leading them into what's next. We get Tube's probably going to get overlooked, Shade, Reba, Cavern. They ended the set, like I said, we got some solid moves in Cavern. Reba always going to be welcome, of course. Shade, we got to slow it down at some point. But really, over here is where things got cooking, man. Not to just roll through all this first set. It was nice. You know, anytime you get a YEM and a Reba in the first set, we'll take it. A Punch You in the Eye unofficial opener. Not to be overlooked in this. Some solid moves in Cavern. Yeah. And anyhow, but here we go with Free. And it was not just the token Free second set opener, you know. It kind of felt like maybe for a minute we were going to get a slow build, kind of tinker around, and then get on to the next song. But that is not what happened, and, you know. Mike was bouncing along, probably, you know, maybe at the midpoint of the jam. Seemed like, all right, this is going to be a Mike heavy jam. He's bouncing along, but no, then at some point, you know, even Trey starts to get louder and louder, and he's taking over. Mike even, I feel like, turned his back to Trey at one point, like, oh, man, come on, Trey. I was really getting it done at that point. Trey takes it over, and he is really showing off. And then underneath him, Paige just howling underneath there. Just the perfect sound. Fishman, of course, with them right there. And then we get on to Esther. I don't know how long the Free ran. And it's probably going to be neck and neck with that Down with Disease. The Down with Disease still may be my favorite one of the summer, but this one right here, it's going to be right there with it, probably. Free upon more listens. And your freebie on YouTube. Run, it's the freebie on YouTube. Hopefully they leave that one up. And then we get Esther after that. You know, this is our third Esther of the year. You got to go all the way back to 2009 and before that, 1996, to have this kind of year, an active year for Esther. Then we get Blazon after that. They didn't have much time with Blazon. They kind of quickly move into over Sense and Subtle Sounds. The jam and it, again, like Free. Maybe just felt like, all right, we're going to build to something here and quickly move on to the next one. They kind of elongated the Sense and Subtle Sounds jam. Even got a little mad at one point, a little angry. I wouldn't say we got any evil Phish. But it certainly had a bone to pick with somebody, I think, the Sense and Subtle Sounds did. And then 2001, just pretty much a ramp right into this, you know, and they were kind of feeling it, you know. So 2001, not that it was horrible, but man, and then the Split Open and Melt, you know, I don't know. Split Open and Melt might be right there with Free and Down with Disease, which I just said is my favorite stuff of the summer. But I'm not sure if it's that or if I hated it. You know, at some point I was just kicked back in the chair with my arms crossed, looking at it like a lot of people you'd see on the webcast, just standing there motionless, like, what exactly is going on here, man? It was chaotic. I don't always want to compare Split Open and Melt to the Tower Jams, but it kind of had that feel to it. You know, the final minute or so, it really kind of, as we're drifting back into Melt, Mike takes us back into Melt. That sounded really cool. And then Trey got a little crazy on the pedals, you know, ending up Melt, the official ending for Fishman. And then, you know, there was effects involved throughout all. You know, not a ton of it throughout the night, though. And then Bathtub Gin, they were not playing around, man. Never, ever a hint of a visit to you know where. No. Not with that gin. This is the first time. This second set got me. I was like, shit. Why didn't I go? Shit. That was pretty killer. All right, you know, but that's almost to be expected at Blossom. Blossom, an overlooked venue. Almost always it's just getting one night. I believe always it's just gotten one night. And that one night is usually a punch right in the gut, a knee to the nuts, elbow to the forehead, then a backhand. That's how you walk out of that place, man. Wobbled. Wobbled. I would have been stuck because there's no way I would have bounced on this. I mean, I would have been feeling good during 2001. I'd be like, this is it, man. We're going to get some chomper shit next. I'm out of here. No, I wouldn't. No way. And then no way, man. I'd have been with the rest of you people. Staring at brake lights. Boom. Eating veggie burritos in the lot. That's not the worst thing. All right, guys. Boom.